Good day, everybody. This is John Scarborough. Just wanted y'all to look at this little calf right here. This is actually a twin that we just had. One of the twin calves that we just had coming from this mama right over here. The baby has actually been pretty well taken care of herself, and I say that she's still using mama for nutrition. But it's kind of funny, if you want to call it funny. It's actually a pretty good story of nature. The mama actually turned that baby down and just took care of one. And a lot of times you'll see that when mama cows have twins. You can see that other baby. I've actually kind of separated them from the rest of the herd there, just so that I can kind of keep an eye on them. But the mama pretty well disowned that other calf, and the mamas a lot of times will do that if they fear that they can't keep enough milk. They can't produce enough milk to take care of the other baby. They will actually get rid of the other twin. And most of the time when you have cows that have twins, it's actually a bad thing. Usually it ends up being a bad thing. But in this case, it's actually, they were both heifers, both heifer calves. So it's actually turned out to be a good thing as far as them both being heifer calves. The mama is still a meat producing cow, therefore she doesn't produce a lot of milk. So she actually started off, I had to go get this baby and bring it to her, and she would not accept it at all, kept pushing and kicking it away. And you know, nature is going to take its course, you know, and we could have bottle fed it and it may have made it. There's a really good chance it wouldn't have made it, but the mother would not take it. Well, this baby just would not give up at all. And you can tell it's not doing quite as well as this other one, but the baby itself was so persistent. It was really crazy. Like a friend of ours actually had talked about, hey girl, had actually talked about taking the, that she's coming up looking at me. She had actually talked about taking the calf from us, you know, and putting it on her dairy cow. Well, we had considered it. We were gonna do that, but this baby was so persistent. I hated to take the baby from the mama, and you can tell she's still considering this one her baby, and she's just kind of, this other one's just kind of tagging along, you know. And it's kind of sad in some ways, but that's kind of that's the way nature works. Anyway, long story short, I didn't want to take the baby from the mother if it was going to take, you know, because you're always going to do better with the mother. The good thing is the baby did get some good colostrum, and it had a lot of strength. Well, it had a lot of stamina as well. I mean, it just would not give up. It was very persistent, and it was just following along with mama, and anytime it saw that other one nursing, it would get up and go in there and sneak in. And at first that mama was fighting it off, because that's just kind of how they do, you know. Well, now it's gotten to where the mama has just given up fighting that baby, and she does not fight it anymore. But what's funny is she doesn't treat it like her own baby either. She doesn't go to it and pick it up. She doesn't bed it down like cows will do with their calves, and she'll take care of that other calf. And if I'm not careful when I move them, she will only worry about the other calf, and she won't worry about this one right here. So if I'm not watching out, she'll actually leave that calf behind. But she has stopped fighting that calf. So the calf has actually, I guess in nature, the way that would have been, the calf would have been strong enough to actually make it, because it kind of forced itself on mama. But anyway, it's kind of just an interesting story of nature and how it works. It's really cool that we ended up with two heifer calves. If y'all don't know, if you have two heifers that are twins, and they're both, you know, they're both heifers, and that they won't actually be sterile. They'll actually both be good heifers. So anyway, as you can see, this one's still lacking a little. It's just kind of a story that we're going to have. We're just going to keep on watching. And I will say, I've noticed that she has picked up her milk production, and she still looks a little drugged down, but honestly, she's doing more than she's used to doing. So I don't know. We're contemplating maybe giving her some special treatment. We don't feed our cows, but we actually thought about giving this one some dairy pellets. But I don't know. We're of course, since we don't do that on our operation, we want to try to see if she can do it on her own. If she can do it on her own, then that's going to be one heck of a good cow, and that's one you want to keep for sure, okay? But then, of course, if she can't, then we're not going to let her starve to death. You know, she's going to take care of those 2 babies. If we've got to help her, we will. We just have to decide whether or not she can handle it or not. But I have decided to go on ahead and separate her from the herd just for a little bit. And I typically like to keep things as close to natural as I can get them, just simply because for me it makes things simpler when you keep it natural. Okay, it's not necessarily, not saying anything bad about anyone who doesn't keep things natural or do things the natural way. Nothing against that at all. Just for me and the way I run my operation, I find that the animals seem to be healthier, happier, and the main thing is it keeps life a lot simpler. Okay, but this one right here, this is kind of a special deal, and I mean, you know, as stewards of the land, we do like to help out where we can and take care of things, if it's something that we can do. So we are going to at least separate her for a little bit, just to keep the little baby from the other little baby from getting separated. I'd hate to see that happen, and just see if we can give her a little bit of a boost. We'll let y'all know whether or not we end up having to give her some dairy pellets or not. Like I said, it's not something we traditionally do, and when they have 1 calf, we sure don't have to give them anything. I mean, that's our goal, is to have cattle that don't need anything. But it's not very often that you get a cow that has twins, so we'll see how that works out and kind of keep y'all updated. So thanks everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe and throw some comments in there.